Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of WeTalk, where we're packed with different views and ideas about the training issues across China. So first and foremost, let's start with the film The Better Days, which has made the headlines recently for earning Oscar nomination. Quite exciting news, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I have watched it twice, and I think it's the first Chinese movie to win the nomination in the category for probably almost in 2 decades.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It was
How
marvelous.
do you like it?
I like it a lot. I like the cast and I like the theme. Yeah.
What about you? Have you watched it?
Only a little bit. The part where Zhou Longyu shaved her head. Her head was shaved. I think she looked really cool, so I shaved my head too.
You look really cool.
I know. Thanks.
Anyway, we are not going to talk much more about the film itself. Actually, I think the one good thing about the film is that the exposure of the film managed to put the topic, school bullying, which is a very significant social problem that used to be overlooked or even ignored, back to the spotlight again. As a mom of a young daughter, I just can't imagine having to endure this. But the fact is, according to a survey conducted by China Social Science Academy, over 70% of the surveyed youngsters said that they had experienced a certain kind of verbal or physical bullying. Is that really that ubiquitous? Like, have you ever witnessed?
First of all, 70%, that's just unbelievable. Like 70% of people answering that question. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I did a little bit of research too, and the number I saw is like 30%. In China, 30% of kids in elementary school and middle school reports being bullied in either verbally or physically or in cyber ways, especially nowadays. And then in the United States, it's around 1 in 5 kids. That's still alarming numbers.
Have you witnessed any?
Well, I was the really unpopular kid in my days.
Why?
So yeah, it was mostly isolation and verbal bullying. But yeah, I've definitely seen cases like that. Yeah.
I mean, 70% really depends on how you define bullying. It's like if verbal bully, it's like calling people stupid, something like that. And probably even when we became adults, we still get bullied in workplace. In that.
Nowadays we call it PUA.
We have another word for bullying in office.
Workplace. Yeah, but so given that, I definitely believe the 70% statistics, just because people say hurtful things all the time.
So have you experienced, or are you the bully?
So it was.
It's time to come clean.
Yeah, it's an interesting story that while I was in elementary school, while I was like 3rd, 4th grade, I was like the leader of this small gang.
Small gang?
Gotcha.
Like, just a couple
How old
girls.
were you?
3rd grade, like 9 years old.
9 years old.
Ish. And then we sort of picked on this girl in our class because she was like my rival-ish.
Rival.
But it's like a complicated elementary school social status competition thing. But then I admit that we did pick on that girl at that time. But then after it became...
How did you torture her?
I didn't say torture her. It was more like, for example, I liked drawing and she liked drawing too. So we would compete in this, in the art class, and she would say she drew better than I did. So my friends and we would just say, haha, no, Anju draws better than you do, something like that.
But you did isolate. You did isolated her, right?
Yeah, like she didn't
isolated.
She didn't have as many friends as we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Do you feel sorry for her now?
Yeah, if you're watching the show,
What are the odds?
I'm sorry. I guess I can't say I didn't mean it. Like at that time, I definitely meant it. I wanted her to feel bad about challenging me. But now I just think back and I think it's absolutely stupid and she didn't deserve that. So I'm sorry.
I moved to Guangdong in my 5th grade also. So around when I was 10, and it wasn't like a big cities like Guangzhou or Shenzhen. I was literally moved to this very small town with this very strong like local culture and local bonds. Literally, I felt like everyone knew everyone at the school except me, and then I was the only Mandarin speaking kid at the school. I mean, I kind of felt like they tried to include me. So like the teachers and my other classmates tried to speak Mandarin to me, but there also felt like this like two-way of like I was both pushing them away while I was being pushed away.
Oh, okay.
So that was the elementary school phase, and the bullying actually started when I went to middle school. That was when I actually don't remember why. Like, I guess they just need an outlet, outlet to to release the emotions. So I was the one that got picked on, and it wasn't very much physical. It's just mostly like verbal abuse and isolation. And
How did you get over it?
first of all, I graduated, and then I felt that it got easier as my grades get better.
Yeah,
People started to make friends with me.
That's a very effective way.
Yeah.
Because I think that academic pressure is also to blame in this social problem. Because I think Asian countries or China, in China, where the academic pressure is very high, those who are who don't perform very well academically, they feel like they need to get their confidence back, the confidence that they should have gained elsewhere in family or like from their class or schools.
Yeah, but I also felt like there was this stereotype, like stereotype of being cool at school. If you want to be a cool kid.
Yeah, I think that is one of the reasons. What do you think? What are the bullies like you look for? Like what are they looking for?
I think part of it is because like being cool and stuff like that.
Feeling superiority.
Yeah. And part of it is also like maintaining the status at school. Like you have to establish your status by,
Being different.
Stepping on
someone
else.
A victim.
Like this chain of power, this imbalance of power between those who bully and those who were being bullied.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
like in a lot of cases, it's like if you don't bully the others with the bullies, they bully you.
You will be isolated. You will be the one who's isolated.
So it's like a very strong power that the bullies have.
The Better Days, the film, it's actually not the first Asian movies featuring this topic.
Right.
There are many masterpieces on this topic, especially in East Asian movies,
In
right?
Japan.
Yeah.
South
So
Korea,
why do you think the school bully is more severe in East Asian countries?
I think it might be because here we suppress ourselves a little bit. Like we don't let out as much.
Yeah.
So when we bully or get bullied, like for example, if I get bullied,
We tend to be
not,
quiet.
yeah, I
and
might
then-
not want to tell anyone.
Yeah.
So that makes it that could bring it to another level.
But after watching the film, I feel that how trapped would the victims be when they get bullied? They just cannot say anything. If they say anything, because everything will come back to her at the end of the day.
But did you?
Unless the bully will be
so bad
removed,
that-
out of school, right? So it's a very
I
hard,
don't know.
tough
Did you
question.
talk to your parents or maybe talk to your teachers during your
I
years
didn't
of?
even realize I was being bullied, because it was like more like no pushing or like beating up, stuff like that. It's like isolation and like how am I gonna tell my parents that who and who
It's a
just starts
non-issue, right.
not talking to me, and I wasn't really good at dealing with my feelings, I guess, and I didn't know how to interpret it and tell anyone. So yeah, but when I went to middle school, I started facing the issue, and when the class clowns in my class started bullying out, because there was this girl who was really tall. in our class. She was
Even
like
taller than you?
yes, she was even taller than I was. She was like 6 feet ish.
Oh, really?
While I was like probably 5'10". I mean, like 2 centimeters taller than I was. So the boys in our class, they like bullied her and called her like Tokyo Skytree. So you guys are laughing. You think it's funny too, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
But then part of it is because I was tall too, and I think if they bully her, they're sort of coming at me too. And part of it is because I just felt really righteous at that moment. So I stood up to the guys. I always, like, every time they called her names, I just stood up and I was like, don't do that. But then the boys, like, they don't care. They just kept doing it. So I just cried. But the next time I would still do that. So it was middle school experience.
But what do you think are some of the possible solutions to the problem? I think
Such a big question.
yeah, but I think school should play a part.
Yeah.
Definitely the teachers. They're definitely the closest witnesses
Yeah.
of bullying.
I think for any schools with a CCTV, with the camera, go check it every day. There should be someone who's monitoring what's going on every day or even every minute. We can't just check it when there's tragedy, right?
But do you think sometimes the teachers or like the adults in the school, they just don't know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also have to realize that. We have
Yeah.
to.
They either don't know or don't realize if you've never been to or been in the same place. I mean, at the end of the movie, The Better Days, the role Jo Dong-yu played, she became a teacher, and because she was bullied previously,
So she
she
can
quickly noticed
Yes.
like there
She
was a
can
girl
feel
who
it.
was also being bullied at her class. Yeah.
I'm not finding an excuse for the bullies. There shouldn't be any excuse for the bullies. But I think the bullies, the source of the bully comes from a broken background, maybe. Because like such families are broken in a way that they can't fix it here, and then it trickled down to the kids who's unhappy, and then they brought that unhappiness to a victim. So hurt people,
Yeah.
right?
Or maybe they were just having fun, Kids.
yeah, I was good.
Kids were just being kids. Yeah, they didn't realize like it.
Like they probably don't know better. Like kids hurting animals just because they didn't know it was hurting. But I don't know how to explain. But I feel like sometimes it's just the kids, they don't think that much while they're bullying, and especially the followers. Like there's always a leader, but then there are followers either because they were threatened to bully as well. Like if they don't bully, the bullies will bully them. So either they're afraid, so they join the bullies, or the kids who just didn't have critical thinking and thought it was everybody thinks it's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
So that's why the adults should play a role. It's
Definitely.
the adults, the parents and the teachers' responsibility to instill that kind of kindness to the kids and tell him that you cannot do that. You cannot treat people badly. You shouldn't verbally attack anyone. This is bad. This is really terrible. It's the responsibility of the parents.
Right, just like the parents of those who are being bullied probably never know that what their kids were going through. The parents of the bulliers didn't know either. They didn't know what their kids were doing at the school either. So I don't know. I mean, this all comes down to open conversations.
Yeah. So I think in a nutshell, the families, parents, schools, and also public media should play a role in preventing such thing from happening. All right, I'm so glad that we had this chat today.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you.
See you.